This is Focus, Black Oklahoma. I'm Dr. Autumn Brown.
And I'm Jacob Littlebear.
Music can entertain, inspire, and spark change. And few artists embody that power more than Rocky Dawuni. Born in Ghana and celebrated around the world, Dawuni blends Afro-roots music, reggae, and global influences to create songs that promote unity, social justice, and cultural understanding. Zaakirah Muhammad profiles the artist, activist, and United Nations ambassador behind the music, exploring how his sound bridges continents and how his message continues to resonate with audiences across the globe.
The busy streets are empty. Now we're panic buying bread from every shelf. Social media is in a frenzy for an enemy that nobody can see. We must go through.
Music has served not just as a source of entertainment, but an opportunity to examine how it shapes culture, community, and identity. Those themes were at the center of a recent conversation at NYU Acra featuring Ghanaian Afro-roots music artist turned United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, Rocky Dawuni. Dawuni spoke with students about how he went from partially fulfilling his father's dream of becoming a military general to being the general of his own foundation that blends music, storytelling, and youth empowerment. Rocky's father, Koyati Dawuni, came from royalty, the kind that doesn't inherit thrones. The son of a traditional chief in northern Ghana, Rocky Dawuni was not in line for power, so he did what many young men from the north did. He joined the army. Rocky was stationed at a military camp in Tima on Ghana's coast. It was there, inside the order and noise of the barracks life, that his love for music was born, surrounded by soldiers speaking every language Ghana had to offer.
My father was the last born of an indigenous traditional chief, a Konkoba chief from a town called Bumbong in the northern region. I was born into an environment of discipline, soldiers, a very diverse and plural environment because the Ghanaian military was kind of a collection of various tribes.
From the beginning, Dawuni was taking notes, not the kind you write, the kind you hear. By the age of 5, he had developed an analytical mind for music. He didn't just listen to songs, he dissected them.
I recognized that probably around the age of 5, that I was always drawn to music. I could feel music in nature. I could feel music in people. I could feel music in my environment.
In Ghana in the 1980s, the military wasn't just guarding borders. It was debating the soul of a nation. Soldiers talked about citizenship, building a nation, and what it meant to build something together. For a young boy with musicians' ears, all of it was material.
Here I was, a child who was drawn to music, who was drawn to the power of music to tell stories in an environment where the soldiers were not only talking about national defense, but were talking about development. They were talking about how to nation building. They were talking about how to create community. I started feeling like all of this was fodder for me to really be able to articulate the Ghanaian story.
Rocky Dawuni's parents had the dream for their children to rise through the ranks and become officers and eventually become generals. Dawuni respected the dream, yet quietly and patiently discovered reggae music and filled notebooks with original songs.
Most of the time, my parents were looking at all of us. The highest point was, you are going to be a general. You're going to go to the best schools, and you'll be a general because I'm not a general, so you are going to be that guy. But here I was, I wanted to be a general of something else.
He traced that conviction back to a single image, a record album cover he'd seen as a teenager at a neighbor's house. an artist with braids, stars on the sleeve, titled Hotter Than July. Decades later, he got to share the stage with Stevie Wonder.
I said to myself, I want to be a musician and work that one day I'll have the opportunity of meeting this man. I always say that in my artistic journey, I have been privileged to be a child who was able to see my career rise from the borders of Ghana, despite all the challenges, and ultimately, at one point, on the stage of the Hollywood Bowl, one of the biggest venues in the world. And it dawned on me that it started with my admiration, and here I was with Stevie Wonder. So it shows that the biggest dream starts with the biggest intention.
Every day, in every way, oh, I'm gonna let my whole light shine. Every day, in every way, oh, I'm gonna let my whole light shine. On and on and on and on, for the world to see.
As a young adult, his dad said he needed to pay his own way if he was going to be a musician. To make ends meet, he started a vegetable business and planted cabbages on the family land in KOSU Radio, selling to hotels, saving every CD, funding a band that he built himself.
I'm gonna buy my first guitar. I started a cabbage business, started distributing to hotels, started making money, planning my band.
It was his older brother, Chief Uba Wumbe Dawuni, who finally convinced him to go to college. His brother said to him,
All of these guys don't live in Koforidua. They hardly come here, and if they come and play, even you won't get opportunity to see them. So, but if you come to Legon, you get the opportunity of meeting all of this. So maybe school might actually be the opportunity for you to jumpstart.
He arrived at the University of Ghana in Legon in 1991 with a handwritten album, a head full of songs, and a demo that was truly that, a demo.
I don't want to even talk about the demo, because the demo was literally me singing and one of my friends humming the bass line and the humming the drum. That's my demo from Koforidua. That's the Koforidua version of my demo.
Within weeks of arriving on campus, he found his bandmates. They called themselves Local Crisis. They recorded their first tape, and within 48 hours, in what we now call going viral, every student at the University of Ghana was talking about them. But a university campus was not enough. There was a major national concert happening at the Trade Fair Center in Acra. They had no booking, no invitation, and no plan except to show up.
We had never been booked for a show. We're just a university band. And we heard that the concert was coming. We were like, we need to play on it. So on the day of the show, we took our instruments and everything. We marched straight to the Trade Fair Center.
The promoter put them on last, after the headliners, and the crowd was already heading for the exits.
We rolled into the first song, and that was history. Immediately the first song started playing. All the people who were moving towards the entrance paused. There was a pause, and then all of a sudden people started moving back in reverse. And by the time we got into the second and third song, the whole place was full.
He describes his music as his purpose in life.
Music is for me a calling, and I'm glad that I always answer that calling. I had a deeper understanding of what I wanted to do. And then my environment too at that time started to become a means to formulate my initial character as to what I felt was my calling to utilize my music for. And when I hear words like healing, for me, that means that is my Grammy. I believe deeply in God, and I am a man of faith, and I believe that my music was not necessarily given to me as a tool for just to uphold my ego, but also a tool for healing.
Success, when it came, did not slow Dawuni down. He received an opportunity to work at college radio stations across the United States. He licensed music to Atlantic Records. He built his own record label called Aquarian Records. He was involved in initiating the first medication donation to Ghana's AIDS Commission through his UN advocacy in partnership with Bono's Project Red. It gave him a platform and a question he couldn't stop asking. What is this platform for? He speaks about African unity and about what is at stake if it doesn't happen.
And I believe that the inoculation against that is for us to all work towards that unity, because I believe that that unity, as much as it looks like it's a dream of our ancestors, I believe that our ancestors saw us as the generation that is going to be able to manifest that.
Dawuni is working with a belief, the same one he has carried since the age of 5 years old.
I always believe that serving your country is a responsibility of everybody. You have to go out there and be worthy ambassadors of your country. I'm a living testament of perceiving your dream and your dream being driven by a selfless conviction, and the dream manifests before your eyes. If you believe in it enough and you trust in it enough.
Everybody saying, everybody singing, everybody rising. The champion arise, we shall win. The champion arise.
For Focus, Black Oklahoma, I'm Zaakirah Muhammad in Accra, Ghana.
Champion arise, we shall win. Let another spiritual war begin. Yet another spiritual warfare.
Thanks for joining us on Focus Black Oklahoma.
Fight on. Here we come.
Focus Black Oklahoma is produced in partnership with KOSU Radio and Tri-City Collective. Additional support is provided by the Commemoration Fund and Press Forward. Our theme music is by Moffat Music.
Focus Black Oklahoma's executive producers are Quresh Ali Lansana and Bracken Clark. Our associate producers are Jesse Ulrich and Naomi Agnew. Our production interns are Alexander Evans, Jess Grimes, Roma Carter, and Anna Wilson.
You can visit us online at kosu.org or focusblackoklahoma.com and on YouTube at Tri-City Collective OK. You can follow us on Instagram at focusblackok and on Facebook at facebook.com/focusblackok.com. You can hear Focus Black Oklahoma on demand at kosu.org, the NPR app, npr.org, or wherever you get your podcasts.